Hi, my name is Daniel.dalmolin and I'm a financial advisor and retirement planner here with Global Financial Consultants in Singapore. To all the expats in Singapore, are you making these costly financial mistakes? One of the mistakes I find is people living away from public transport lines. Singapore has a great public transport system. It's good to locate next to a public transport line like an MRT or a good bus line into your work. Try and avoid taking taxis to work. The second mistake I see is people committing to high rental for their accommodation. The Singapore market is probably a little bit different to a lot of overseas rental markets in that it ebbs and flows depending on demand. There are periods where rentals are very high and there's periods where rentals are much cheaper. So don't commit to something that's too expensive with fear of missing out. And try and take a shorter lease in case prices are high. You can then renegotiate on the other side. The third thing I find is people not taking out an SRS account. So the SRS account I've spoken to in the last few videos as well is called the Supplementary Retirement Scheme. And it allows you to put money into that account up to $37,500 for people on EP. And that gives you tax relief at the end of the year. So whatever money you put in becomes tax-free savings and investment. And on the other side of that, we can use your SRS account to invest that money into the markets for you. The next point is I always encourage clients to take out enough life insurance and critical illness insurance. We lead very active lives up here. A lot of people are on the road, they travel a lot. You don't know what's around the next corner. If you've got children and dependent wife, maybe it's good to have a look at your life insurance in case something happens. They've got good coverage to get them back home through their schooling and with the appropriate level of lifestyle and expenses. Critical illness insurance is also important as there's no social security in Singapore, and if you're too ill to go to work, you need money to cover up for that time that you're away from work before you can start again. And the next point is underestimating education costs. I think it's very important before you move to Singapore is you have a look at the landscape in regards to education for your kids. You might not be here 2 years, you might be here 5. So primary school kids might end up in secondary school. And have a look at those budgets and those expenses because that needs to come into your budget. And education in Singapore can be anywhere between $30,000 and $50,000 a year. It's quite expensive for international education. The next point is getting some tax relief. Although Singapore is a low tax country, there are ways to reduce your taxation payments at the end of the year. Reach out and I'll give you a few tips. And the last point is people not seeking financial advice. Yes, it's a plug for my own business, but I find that people have come to me after 10 years in Singapore and they've said, geez, I wish we'd crossed paths earlier. I think people need that financial advice, especially expats that have finances, assets and income in multi-jurisdictions. Need to have somebody to have an overview and give you some good advice. That's all from me today. Anything else, please give me a comment or you can reach out to me in the below. All the best. Thank you.